You see, success begins in the mind. The way you think, the words you choose, the way you express yourself. These shape your reality. And I'm here to tell you, if you want to win, you must start thinking and talking like a winner. Because let me tell you, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, it tells the world what you believe about yourself. And if you don't believe you're a winner, no one else will. Now, I've met people, talented, hardworking, intelligent, but they walk around talking like they're defeated. I don't know if I can. I'll try. I hope so. That's not the language of winners. Winners don't talk about trying. Winners don't hope for success. Winners decide, they commit, they declare, I will make it happen. That's the difference. Let me give you an example. Picture two people standing at the starting line of a race. One says, I hope I can finish. The other says, I will win. Who do you think has the better shot? It's not just a mindset, it's a declaration. It's a commitment. The words we speak tell our minds what to believe, and the mind is powerful. It will act on what you feed it. I remember early in my career, before I knew better, I used to say things like, I don't know if I can do this. I'll try my best. And you know what? I got results that matched that language. Uncertain, inconsistent, average. But then I learned success is about absolute conviction. So I changed my words. I started saying, I will make this happen. I am capable. I am strong. I am determined. And let me tell you, my results changed because I changed. Now, I want you to think about something. What words are you using every day? Are you speaking like a champion, or are you setting yourself up for failure with weak language? If you catch yourself saying, I don't know if I can, stop. Change it. Say, I will figure it out. If you're saying, I'll try, replace it with, I am doing it. That shift alone, just changing how you speak, can change everything for you. And I know what some of you were thinking, Jim, but what if I don't feel like a winner yet? What if I'm struggling? Let me tell you something. Speak it before you feel it. Winners don't wait until they feel successful to act successful. No, they act successful first. They talk successful first. And then the success follows. It's the law of belief. You have to believe it before you see it. You have to speak it before you live it. You ever see how the greats carry themselves? Watch a champion walk into a room. They don't slump in looking unsure. No, they walk in with certainty, with presence, with energy. And that's not just about confidence. It's about the message they send to themselves and the world. Because let me tell you, if you don't believe in you, why should anyone else? So here's what I want you to do. Start today. Start right now. Become aware of the words you speak. If they're weak, change them. If they're uncertain, strengthen them. And then watch what happens. Because when you think and talk like a winner, you start living like one. And when you live like one, success is no longer just possible, it's inevitable. Let me tell you something. Words are power. The words you use shape the way you think, the way you act, the way you influence. And if you don't control your words, if you don't shape them with intention, guess what? Someone else will. The world is full of voices telling you what you can't do, what you're not good enough for, why you should settle. And if you start repeating those words, if you let them into your mind, into your language, you've already lost before you even begin. Winners don't let outside voices dictate their narrative. Winners take control. They craft their words carefully because they know what you say is what you become. You ever notice how people who always say, I'm tired, always seem exhausted? Or the ones who say, I never get a break, somehow never catch a lucky one? That's not coincidence. That's programming. That's mindset. But here's the good news. Just like negative words can hold you back, powerful words can push you forward. You want success? Then you've got to start speaking it. Not just casually, not just when you feel good, but every single day, in every conversation, in every private moment when no one's watching. You wake up in the morning, and instead of dragging yourself out of bed saying, I hate Mondays, you say, today is another chance to win. Instead of, I don't know how I'll get through this, you say, I'm built for this. Instead of, I'll try, you say, I will. Because let me tell you, winners don't try, they do. They don't hope, they expect it. And that expectation changes everything. Think about the greatest achievers in history. Did they walk around saying, I hope I can make something of my life? No. They made declarations. I will create, I will build, I will win. And because they spoke it, they owned it, and because they owned it, they lived it. The mind obeys what the mouth declares. And once you realize that, you'll never speak weak words again. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Jim, what if I don't believe it yet? What if I say I'm successful, but I don't feel it? Let me give you a truth that will change your life. You don't have to feel it first. You have to say it first. You have to speak it until it becomes real. That's how belief works. It doesn't start as certainty. It starts as a choice, a decision. And every time you reinforce it with words, it grows. You've got to program yourself for success the way a world-class athlete trains for a championship. Do you think they wait until they feel motivated to show up for practice? No. They show up first, they push themselves first, and then the results come. It's the same with your mindset, your words, your success. You don't wait to feel confident before you start talking like a winner. You talk like a winner, and confidence follows. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 24 hours, I want you to watch every word you speak. No more I can't, no more I hope, no more maybe, only strong, powerful, winning words. And then see what happens. Because when you start thinking and talking like a winner, life starts treating you like one. And we're just getting started. Let me ask you something. Have you ever listened to how champions talk? How the greats carry themselves? It's not just confidence, it's certainty. It's conviction. They don't leave room for doubt in their words, and because of that, they don't leave room for doubt in their actions. And that right there, that's the difference. That's why winners win. It's not luck, it's not talent alone. It's mindset, it's language. It's the way they frame reality with the words they choose. Because here's the truth. Words shape your world. If you want to change your world, start by changing your words. And that starts with you. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. See, most people wait. They wait until they feel ready. They wait for proof that they're capable. But let me tell you, winners don't wait. Winners declare. They decide before they see results. They speak their success into existence, not with wishful thinking, not with empty affirmations, but with absolute unshakable belief. You don't say, I hope I get better. You say, I am getting better every single day. You don't say, I wish I could be successful. You say, I am building my success right now. That's how you shift from hoping to doing, from wishing to achieving. And here's the powerful part. Your words don't just affect you. They affect everyone around you. Have you ever noticed that when a strong leader walks into a room, the energy shifts? When they speak, people listen, not because of the volume of their voice, but because of the weight of their words. They don't speak uncertainty. They don't second-guess themselves. They state things with clarity, with confidence, with finality, and because they believe it, others believe it too. That's what makes people follow them. That's what makes them influential. Now, think about your own life. Are you the kind of person people listen to? Do your words carry power, or do they drift away unnoticed? If you're not where you want to be, start with this. Start speaking like someone worth listening to. Stand behind your words. Mean what you say. When you tell yourself you're going to do something, follow through. Because here's what happens. When you honor your own words, you build trust. First with yourself, then with others. And trust is the foundation of influence. You see, every successful person I've met, they've mastered this. They've mastered their inner dialogue, their self-talk. They don't let their fears run the conversation in their head. They don't sit around debating with doubt. They decide, they commit, and because of that, their actions follow, and the world responds. Because the world doesn't reward hesitation. The world rewards certainty. So I'll ask you again, how do you talk to yourself? How do you talk about yourself? How do you talk about your future? If your words are weak, your results will be weak, but if your words are powerful, your results will be unstoppable. That's the secret. That's the shift. And once you make it, nothing can hold you back. And this is just the beginning. You know what separates the winners from everyone else? It's not just skill. It's not just opportunity. It's not even intelligence. It's the way they speak about themselves, about their future, about their ability to overcome. It's the words they choose. Because words are fuel. They either ignite your fire or put it out. And most people, without even realizing it, are walking around pouring water on their own flame every single day. They say things like, I'm not good at this. I've never been lucky. I always mess up. And they wonder why life keeps proving them right. You see, the mind is a powerful thing. It believes what you tell it. It takes your words and turns them into your reality. So if you keep telling yourself you're bad at something, guess what? you'll never get better. If you keep saying you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. If you tell yourself success is impossible, you'll find ways to sabotage every opportunity that comes your way. But the great news, the opposite is also true. Winners program themselves differently. They talk differently. They think differently. Instead of saying, I don't know if I can, they say, I'll figure it out. Instead of I always fail, they say, I'm learning. Instead of I'm not good at this, they say, I'm getting better every day. And that small shift, that tiny change in language, it makes all the difference. Because when you start speaking power into your life, you start thinking differently. And when you think differently, you act differently. And when you act differently, your whole world begins to change. I've seen it happen over and over again. I've seen people go from struggling, from doubting themselves, from feeling stuck, just by changing the way they spoke about themselves. A young man came up to me once, frustrated, saying, Jim, I just don't have what it takes. I stopped him right there. Who told you that, I asked. Where did you learn to speak about yourself like that? He didn't even know. It had become a habit, a pattern, a belief he had repeated so many times it felt like truth. But it wasn't the truth. It was just a script he had been running in his mind for years, and when he changed the script, everything changed. So what script are you running? What words are you repeating to yourself day in and day out? Are they pushing you forward or are they holding you back? Because here's what you need to know. Every time you speak, you are either reinforcing a belief that will take you to the next level, or you're reinforcing a belief that will keep you where you are. And the good news, you get to choose. You get to rewrite the script. So stop using weak language. Stop speaking in maybes and doubts and fears. Start speaking with certainty. Start talking like a winner. Because when you do, something incredible happens. The world starts listening. Opportunities start finding you. Doors start opening, and success, it stops being a possibility and starts being your reality. And we're just getting started. You ever notice how some people command a room the second they start speaking? They don't have to shout. They don't have to beg for attention. Their words carry weight. Their presence demands respect. And the reason why, it's not just confidence, it's not just experience, it's the way they speak about themselves, about their future, about what they stand for. They don't fill their sentences with doubt. They don't second guess their own potential. They talk like they mean it. They talk like winners. And because they talk like winners, they win. Most people don't realize how much their words are shaping their reality. They think their words are just expressions of how they feel. But no. Words are instructions. Every time you say, I'm bad at this, you're giving your mind a command. Every time you say, I never get lucky, you're telling the universe exactly what to deliver. And it does. Not because of some magic trick, but because your brain is wired to seek proof of what you believe. If you keep reinforcing weakness with your words, your mind will go to work making sure you live up to that weakness. But if you reinforce power, strength, confidence, that's exactly what you'll get more of. That's why winners talk differently. They don't just describe their situation, they define it. They shape it. They direct it where they want it to go. They say, this is my time. They say, I am more than capable. They say, I create my own opportunities. And because they speak it, they start to believe it. And once they believe it, their actions follow. Their habits follow. Their entire life follows. I remember meeting a man years ago who had every reason to fail. No resources, no support, no experience. But he refused, absolutely refused to let that define him. Instead of saying, I don't have what it takes, he said, I will figure it out. Instead of I don't know the right people, he said, I will find them. Instead of I can't afford to start, he said, I will make it happen. And he did, because he spoke his success before he saw it. He trained his mind to see possibility where others saw limitation. And that shift in language is what took him from struggling to thriving. So what about you? How are you speaking about your own future? Are you talking like someone who's waiting for life to happen to them? Or are you talking like someone who's taking control? Because that's the choice. That's the turning point. The words you choose today will shape the results you get tomorrow. And here's the best part. You don't have to wait to feel confident to start speaking powerfully. You don't have to wait until you've made it big to start talking like a winner. You start now. You train yourself now. You program your words for success now. And once you do that, everything starts to shift. Opportunities start appearing. People start responding to you differently. Life starts moving in your favor. Because when you think and talk like a winner, you become one. And this is just the beginning. Think about the most successful people you know. the ones who seem to have an unshakable belief in themselves, the ones who rise to the top no matter where they start. Ever wonder how they do it? How they carry themselves with such certainty, such conviction? It's not just talent. It's not just luck. It's the way they think, the way they speak, the way they shape their reality before the results ever show up. Because here's something most people never realize. Your words aren't just words. They're blueprints. They're laying the foundation for the life you're building, whether you're aware of it or not. And the problem, most people are building weak foundations. They say things like, I can't, I don't know how, I've never been good at this, and they think they're just stating facts. But they're not. They're setting limits, they're locking themselves into a mindset that guarantees they stay exactly where they are. But winners, they don't play that game. They refuse to speak limitations over their lives. They refuse to accept a future that doesn't match the vision they see for themselves. They say, I will. They say, I am capable. They say, I will find a way. And by speaking those words, they create a mental environment where success is the only option. I'll give you a perfect example. Years ago, I met a man who had spent his entire life struggling financially. He told me, Jim, money has always been hard for me. I've never been good with it. And I stopped him right there. I said, how long have you been telling yourself that story? He thought about it for a second and said, as long as I can remember. I said, well, if you keep telling yourself that, don't be surprised when life keeps proving you right. See, it wasn't his circumstances holding him back. It was his language. It was his belief system reinforced by the words he spoke every single day. So I challenged him. I told him to change the script. Instead of I'm bad with money, I had him say, I am learning how to manage money wisely. Instead of I never have enough, I had him say, I am creating more than enough. And at first he resisted. It felt unnatural. But here's the thing, growth is always uncomfortable at first. But he stuck with it. He trained himself to speak differently, to think differently, to shift his beliefs. And guess what? Within a year, everything changed. He got better opportunities. He made smarter financial decisions. His whole relationship with money transformed. Not because of luck, not because of some miracle, but because he changed his language, and that changed his mindset, and that changed his actions. So what about you? What have you been telling yourself for years that's been holding you back? What stories, what words, what beliefs have been keeping you stuck in the same place? Because the moment you decide to change your words, you change your future. And the best part, you can start right now. So here's the truth. You have the power to shape your life. Not someday, not when things magically fall into place, right now. With the words you choose, with the thoughts you allow, with the beliefs you reinforce every single day. Because whether you realize it or not, you are programming yourself for success or for failure. And that's not something to take lightly. Look around at your life. Every result you have right now, good or bad, is a reflection of the way you've been thinking and speaking up until this point. That's not to discourage you, that's to empower you. Because if you don't like where you are, if you're not satisfied with the results you're getting, you don't have to stay there. You can change it. You can rewrite the script. So decide today that you will think and talk like a winner. No more small talk, no more self-doubt, no more weak language that keeps you stuck. Winners don't speak in limitations, they speak in possibilities. They don't wait for proof before they believe first, and then they create the proof. That's the mindset, that's the secret, and that's the choice you get to make. So from this moment forward, pay attention to your words. Speak with power. Speak with confidence. Speak as if your success is already unfolding, because the moment you do, you'll set a new course for your life, and before you know it, you won't just be thinking and talking like a winner, you'll be living like one.